According to the National Electrical Code, all electrical equipment must have a readily accessible means of disconnect. This means a switch, circuit breaker, or other device that can be used to disconnect the power to the equipment. The National Electrical Code specifically requires that towel warmers have a means of disconnect readily accessible to the user. This means that the switch on the towel warmer itself does not meet the National Electrical Code requirement. The National Electrical Code also requires that there be a means of disconnect for servicing. This means that a switch or circuit breaker should be installed outside of the bathroom for the towel warmer so that it can be disconnected during maintenance or repairs. Therefore, the answer is yes, a means of disconnect is needed on a bathroom towel warmer, both for user safety and for servicing. The switch on the towel warmer itself is not sufficient to meet the National Electrical Code requirement. A separate switch or circuit breaker should be installed outside of the bathroom for servicing purposes. Let's delve deeper into the specific requirements and considerations for bathroom towel warmer disconnects as mandated by the National Electrical Code. The primary reason for requiring a readily accessible disconnect is safety. In the event of a malfunction, electrical fault, or any other situation where immediate power interruption is necessary, a readily accessible disconnect allows for quick and safe de-energization of the towel warmer. This is crucial for preventing electrical shocks, fires, and other potential hazards. The National Electrical Code defines readily accessible as being capable of being reached quickly for operation, renewal, or inspection without requiring those to whom ready access is requisite to climb over or remove obstacles or to resort to portable ladders, chairs, etc. The switch on the towel warmer itself, while convenient for normal operation, typically does not meet the definition of a readily accessible disconnect for several reasons. Firstly, it is usually located on the towel warmer itself, which may be inside the bathroom and potentially close to water sources. In an emergency, reaching the switch could be hazardous. Secondly, the switch may not completely isolate the towel warmer from the power source. It may only interrupt the current flow to the heating element, while other components within the unit may still be energized. For servicing and maintenance, a complete disconnect is essential to ensure the safety of the electrician or anyone else working on the towel warmer. The required disconnect for servicing is typically a switch or circuit breaker located outside of the bathroom in a readily accessible location such as the electrical panel or a nearby junction box. This allows the power to be completely shut off to the towel warmer during maintenance or repairs, minimizing the risk of electrical shock or other injuries. The National Electrical Code provides specific guidelines for the installation and wiring of electrical equipment in bathrooms, including towel warmers. These guidelines are intended to minimize the risk of electrical hazards in these damp and potentially hazardous environments. When installing a towel warmer, it is important to consult the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and any applicable local electrical codes to ensure compliance. The specific requirements for disconnects, wiring methods, and grounding may vary depending on the voltage, amperage, and location of the towel warmer. In addition to the National Electrical Code requirements, it is also important to follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation and operation of the towel warmer. The manufacturer's instructions may provide additional safety precautions and recommendations that are specific to the particular model of towel warmer being installed. Here are some key considerations for selecting and installing a disconnect for a bathroom towel warmer. Firstly, the disconnect must be rated for the voltage and amperage of the towel warmer. The rating of the disconnect should be equal to or greater than the maximum current that the towel warmer is expected to draw. Secondly, the disconnect must be readily accessible, as defined by the National Electrical Code. It should be located in a place where it can be easily reached in an emergency, without the need to climb over obstacles or use tools. Thirdly, the disconnect must be clearly labeled to indicate its purpose. This will help to prevent confusion and ensure that the correct disconnect is used in an emergency. Fourthly, the disconnect must be installed in accordance with the National Electrical Code and any applicable local electrical codes. This includes requirements for wiring methods, grounding, and overcurrent protection. In many jurisdictions, a licensed electrician is required to install electrical wiring and equipment, including towel warmers and their associated disconnects. It is important to hire a qualified electrician to ensure that the installation is done safely and in compliance with all applicable codes. Here is a summary of the key requirements for bathroom towel warmer disconnect. A readily accessible means of disconnect is required for all towel warmers, both for user safety and for servicing. The switch and the towel warmer itself is not sufficient to meet the National Electrical Code requirement. A separate switch or circuit breaker should be installed outside of the bathroom for servicing purposes. The disconnect must be rated for the voltage and amperage of the towel warmer. The disconnect must be readily accessible and clearly labeled. The disconnect must be installed in accordance with the National Electrical Code and any applicable local electrical codes. It is always recommended to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the installation is done safely and in compliance with all applicable codes. Let's explore some additional aspects related to the National Electrical Code in towel warmer installations. Ground fault circuit interrupter protection is crucial. The National Electrical Code often mandates ground fault circuit interrupter protection for bathroom circuits, including those serving towel warmers. A ground fault circuit interrupter is a device that detects small imbalances in current, indicating a potential ground fault, and quickly interrupts the circuit to prevent electrical shock. Be mindful of the location. The location of the towel warmer and its disconnect should be carefully considered to minimize the risk of water damage and electrical hazards. The towel warmer should be installed in a location where it is not likely to come into contact with water, such as away from the shower or bathtub. The disconnect should also be located in a dry and readily accessible location. Use the correct wiring methods. The National Electrical Code specifies the types of wiring methods that are permitted for use in bathrooms. Typically, non-metallic sheathed cable or conduit is used to protect the wiring from moisture and physical damage. The wiring should be properly supported and secured to prevent it from coming into contact with water or other conductive surfaces. Adhere to box fill requirements. The electrical boxes used for connecting the towel warmer and its disconnect must be sized appropriately to accommodate the number of conductors and devices within the box. The National Electrical Code specifies the maximum number of conductors and devices that are permitted in each size of electrical box. Follow the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and local codes. Electrical codes are constantly evolving to reflect new technologies and safety concerns. It is important to stay up to date on the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and any applicable local electrical codes to ensure that the installation is in compliance. Consider energy efficiency. When selecting a towel warmer, consider its energy efficiency. Some towel warmers are designed to be more energy efficient than others, which can save money on electricity bills over time. Look for towel warmers that are Energy Star certified. Think about smart home integration. Some towel warmers can be integrated into smart home systems, allowing for remote control and scheduling. This can be a convenient way to control the towel warmer and save energy. Ensure proper bonding. Bonding refers to the practice of connecting all metal parts of an electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault current. This helps to ensure that ground fault circuit interrupters will operate properly and prevent electrical shock. The towel warmer and its disconnect should be properly bonded to the building's grounding system. Use the appropriate overcurrent protection. Overcurrent protection, such as a circuit breaker or fuse, is required to protect the wiring and equipment from damage due to overloads or short circuits. The overcurrent protection device should be sized appropriately for the ampacity of the wiring and the rating of the towel warmer. It is important to note that electrical work can be dangerous and should only be performed by qualified individuals. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a licensed electrician to install the towel warmer and its disconnect. When planning the installation of a bathroom towel warmer, consider the long-term maintenance and accessibility of the disconnect. Choose a location for the disconnect that is not only readily accessible for emergency situations, but also easily accessible for routine maintenance and inspections. This will ensure that the disconnect can be properly maintained and that any potential problems can be identified and addressed promptly. Moreover, Consider the aesthetic impact of the disconnect on the bathroom's overall design. While functionality and safety are paramount, the disconnect should also blend in with the bathroom's decor and not detract from its aesthetic appeal. There are various types of disconnects available, such as switches, circuit breakers, and fuse disconnects. Each type has its own advantages and disadvantages, so it is important to choose the one that is best suited for the specific application. Switches are generally less expensive than circuit breakers and fuse disconnects, but they do not provide overcurrent protection. Circuit breakers provide both disconnect and overcurrent protection, but they can be more expensive than switches. Fuse disconnects provide the highest level of protection, but they are also the most expensive. In addition to the type of disconnect, it is also important to consider its size and rating. The disconnect should be sized appropriately for the voltage and amperage of the towel warmer. It should also be rated for the environment in which it will be installed. For example, a disconnect that is installed in a damp location should be rated for wet locations. The National Electrical Code provides detailed requirements for the installation of electrical equipment in bathrooms. These requirements are intended to protect people from electrical shock and fire hazards. When installing a bathroom towel warmer and its disconnect, it is important to follow all of the applicable requirements of the National Electrical Code. Ignoring these requirements can put people at risk and can also result in fines or other penalties. Beyond the specific requirements for disconnects, the National Electrical Code also addresses other aspects of bathroom electrical safety, such as the placement of receptacles, lighting fixtures, and other electrical equipment. All electrical work in a bathroom should be performed by a qualified electrician who is familiar with the National Electrical Code requirements. If you are planning to remodel your bathroom, it is a good idea to consult with an electrician early in the planning process. An electrician can help you to design a safe and compliant electrical system for your bathroom. They can also help you to choose the right electrical equipment and to install it properly. The National Electrical Code is a complex and comprehensive document, but it is essential for ensuring the safety of electrical systems. By following the requirements of the National Electrical Code, you can help to protect yourself, your family, and your property from electrical hazards. In addition to the National Electrical Code, many local jurisdictions also have their own electrical codes. These codes may be more stringent than the National Electrical Code, so it is important to check with your local building department to determine the applicable requirements. When selecting a towel warmer, consider its features and functionality. Some towel warmers have timers, which can be used to automatically turn the towel warmer on and off. This can save energy and prevent the towel warmer from overheating. Other towel warmers have multiple heat settings which allow you to customize the temperature of the towels. Some towel warmers also have a built-in fan, which can help to circulate the air and dry the towels more quickly. Before installing a towel warmer, carefully read the manufacturer's instructions. The manufacturer's instructions will provide specific guidance on how to install the towel warmer safely and correctly. The manufacturer's instructions will also provide information on the proper use and maintenance of the towel warmer. If you have any questions about the installation or use of a towel warmer, contact the manufacturer or a qualified electrician. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, so it is important to take precautions to protect yourself from electrical shock. Always turn off the power to the circuit before working on any electrical equipment. Wear rubber gloves and eye protection. Use insulated tools. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician. By following these safety precautions, you can help to prevent electrical shock and other injuries. It is crucial to ensure the accessibility of the disconnect for individuals with disabilities. The disconnect should be located at a height that is easily reachable from a wheelchair or other mobility device. The operating mechanism of the disconnect should also be easy to use for individuals with limited hand strength or dexterity. The National Electrical Code contains specific requirements for accessibility of electrical equipment in public accommodations. These requirements should be considered when installing a disconnect for a towel warmer in a commercial or institutional setting. The labeling of the disconnect should be clear, concise, and easy to understand. The label should identify the purpose of the disconnect and the equipment that it controls. The label should be permanently affixed to the disconnect and should be resistant to fading or damage. The use of tactile labels can be helpful for individuals with visual impairment. Regular inspections of the towel warmer and its disconnect are essential for identifying any potential problems. The inspection should be performed by a qualified electrician. The inspection should include a visual examination of the towel warmer and disconnect, as well as electrical testing to ensure that the equipment is operating safely and correctly. Any problems that are identified during the inspection should be repaired promptly. Proper maintenance of the towel warmer can help to extend its lifespan and prevent problems. The maintenance should include regular cleaning to remove dust and debris. The towel warmer should also be inspected for any signs of damage, such as cracks or corrosion. Any damaged part should be replaced promptly. By following these maintenance tips, you can help to keep your towel warmer operating safely and efficiently. Finally, remember that electrical codes and standards are constantly evolving. It is important to stay up to date on the latest changes to ensure that your electrical system is safe and compliant. You can stay informed by subscribing to industry publications, attending training courses, and consulting with qualified electricians. Staying informed about electrical safety is an ongoing process, but it is essential for protecting yourself, your family, and your property from electrical hazards.